Welcome! In this video, we're going to explore the ratio test, which is a fantastic method for determining if an infinite series converges or not. We'll be focusing on the formula involving the limit of the absolute value of a sub n plus 1 over a sub n, and what it means when that limit is less than 1. First, let's quickly review what an infinite series is. A series is simply the sum of all the terms in an infinite sequence. For any sequence of terms, which we call a sub n, the series is what you get when you add them all together. A sub 1 plus a sub 2 plus a sub 3, and so on forever. The main question we always ask is whether this infinite sum adds up to a specific finite number. There are only two possible outcomes for an infinite series. It either converges or it diverges. A series converges if its sum approaches a single, finite number. Think of it as being stable. On the other hand, a series diverges if its sum just keeps growing to infinity or if it never settles on a single value. This is an unstable situation. The challenge is figuring out which of these two paths a series will follow. This brings us to the ratio test. This powerful test helps us answer the convergence question by looking at the ratio of consecutive terms. We calculate a value, L, which is the limit as n approaches infinity of the absolute value of the next term, a sub n plus 1, divided by the current term, a sub n in simple terms. This value L tells us how the terms are behaving in the long run. After you calculate the limit L, there are three possibilities. If L is less than 1, the series converges. This is the main case we're focusing on. If L is greater than 1, the series diverges. And if L is exactly equal to 1, the test is inconclusive. This means the ratio test can't give you an answer, and you have to try a different method. So, why does the series converge when L is less than 1? The reason is that if this limit is a number smaller than 1, it means that eventually, each term in the series is a fraction of the previous term. This forces the terms to get smaller and smaller, shrinking towards 0. This behavior is very similar to a geometric series with a common ratio less than 1, which we know always converges. The terms shrink fast enough that their sum adds up to a finite number. Let's work through an example. Consider the series which is the sum of n squared divided by 3 to the power of n first. We identify our term a sub n as n squared over 3 to the n. The next term, a sub n plus 1, is n plus 1 squared, over 3 to the n plus 1. We then set up the ratio of a sub n plus 1 over a sub n and simplify. After canceling terms, we take the limit as n approaches infinity, and we find that the limit L is 1/3. Since 1/3 is less than 1, we can conclude that this series converges. Now let's try an example with a factorial. Does the series which is the sum of n factorial divided by 5 to the power of n converge? Our term a sub n is n factorial over 5 to the n. The next term, a sub n plus 1, is n plus 1 factorial over 5 to the n plus 1. We set up the ratio and simplify. In this case, our limit L is the limit of n plus 1 divided by 5. As n goes to infinity, this value is infinity. Since infinity is greater than 1, we conclude that this series diverges. A crucial step in using the ratio test is often simplifying factorials. Remember that n plus 1 factorial is just n plus 1 times n factorial. So when you have a ratio like n plus 1 factorial divided by n factorial, you can expand the top term. This allows you to cancel out the n factorial from both the numerator and the denominator, leaving you with just n plus 1. This simplification trick is why the ratio test works so well with factorials. So, when should you think about using the ratio test? It's your best option when the terms of the series involve expressions that simplify nicely in a ratio. Specifically, look for terms that contain factorials, like n factorial, or exponential terms, like a constant raised to the power of n. When you see these patterns, there's a good chance the ratio test will be the most direct way to find your answer. What about the case where the limit L equals 1? This is the inconclusive case. It's important to understand that this does not mean the series converges or diverges. It simply means the test has failed to give a result. For example, any p-series gives a limit of 1 with the ratio test. However, we know that the p-series 1 over n diverges, while the p-series 1 over n squared converges. The ratio test cannot tell them apart. If you get L equals 1, you must try a different test. Let's summarize what we've learned. The ratio test involves calculating the limit L of the absolute value of a sub n plus 1 over a sub n. If L is less than 1, the series converges. If L is greater than 1, the series diverges. And if L is equal to 1, the test is inconclusive. Remember to look for factorials and nth powers, as these are the perfect candidates for using the ratio test. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.